Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I made Mickey hands and short cookies and also mini bow cookies. So stay tuned and I will show you how. Here are the things that I'm going to use: a Mickey hand or glove cookie cutter, Mickey short cookie cutter, and a mini bow cookie cutter. I'm going to be using black, pink, Christmas red, and lemon yellow food coloring, all by Wilton. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, to get started I am going to do a black outline on his gloves. So I have here in a medium to thick consistency in a tip 2. I'm going to basically just outline the entire cookie, and I'm going to give this about an hour or so. The longer the better to dry, because I am working with white and I don't want any of this black to get absorbed in my white icing. So go ahead and outline the entire cookie. Alright, so go ahead and do this to all your cookies, set them aside to dry, and then we can go ahead with the inside. Alright, so I gave this some time to dry, so I have my white here in a flooding consistency in a tip 4. Only because I have quite a bit of cookie to color, but you can use a 3 as well. It all depends on how flowy your icing is. It's a fairly nice sized cookie, so you kind of want to fill this in as fast as possible. That way one area doesn't start drying out for the other before you even get a chance to smooth the icing out. So just fill in the cookie and then spread your icing. Alright, so after you smooth your icing out, give this about 2 hours or so, longer the better, because we are going to be putting in some black in here and you want to make sure that icing is nice and dry. So I'm going to finish up the rest, let this dry, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I gave this plenty of time to dry, so I have here my black in a medium to thick consistency in a tip 4, and then I'm going to switch it to a tip 2 so I can do 2 little lines here. Because it'll be too thick if I do it with the tip 4. So right here in the center I'm going to squeeze a lot and then bring it down and taper it down, so I release the pressure as I go down, so it'll have a nice kind of like a little point at the bottom. And then I'll do one more here at the right and then one at the left. Squeeze, and then as I come down I release. Squeeze, and then as I come down I release. Just like that. Then I'm going to switch it to a tip 2. Okay, switch my tip, same icing, and I'm just going to make 2 little lines, one here and one here, right at the wrist. And that is it guys, super easy Mickey hand. So I'm going to give this about an hour and a half or 2 to dry, so that way if I happen to stack them or bump them, they don't accidentally puncture my icing. So just give it some time to dry. I'll finish up the rest and that'll be all. Alright, to get started with this, I'm going to go ahead and do a black outline. I have my black in my tip 2 in a medium to thick consistency. And I'm just going to outline the entire cookie. Here in between here, I'm just going to do a little line like that, and then bring it again around the cookie. And then up here, I'm going to make a little bit of a longer line here, and then continue on. Then here I'm going to bring my line from up here, and again I'm going to bring it out here. And I'm going to give this about an hour or so, the longer the better, before I go in with my red to make sure that that doesn't bleed. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest and then I'll be back. Alright guys, so I'm starting to fill in my cookie. I have my red in a tip 4 in the flooding consistency. Since it's a fairly good sized cookie, I'm going to spread one side first and then I'll do the other side. I'm going to give this about 2 hours to dry. The longer the better. It's a fairly easy cookie to do, so I only have one more step to do and we'll be done. So after you do these, do all the rest of them, give it plenty of time to dry, and then we can move on to the buttons, and that'll be all. Alright, so I get this a touch to dry. I have my yellow here in a tip 3 and a somewhat medium to thick consistency, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze and bring it down. And again, squeeze here, try to get a lot of it out of there, and make sure they're pretty similar. And then go ahead and kind of smooth it down so it won't be too rough. And that is it. Kind of looks like a little bit of a jelly bean. You can do this in white as well, but I chose yellow because it is nice and bright and colorful. And that is it. So I have to just give this about an hour or so to dry. The longer the better. That way if you happen to stack them or bag these to package them, you don't accidentally puncture the icing because it has to dry all the way inside. And that is it, guys. So I'm going to finish up the rest and that'll be all. Alright guys, to get started, I'm going to fill in the entire bow here with my pink. I did some in red too, just so you can see which one you like. They come in both colors, so you can decide which one you like. The pink is for like maybe a baby shower or a first birthday, and then the red could be for older birthday. I also have my white. I have it in a tip 2. My pink, I have it in a tip 4 because the flooding consistency is a little bit on the thicker side because I don't have an outline. You can do an outline if you like. I normally don't do outlines, but I am trying to start doing them a little bit more often. I always never did because I don't like waiting. It's an extra step and I don't like really waiting for it to dry before I flood in my cookie. I just go straight into flooding my cookie. But you are welcome to outline it. You can use black. In a tip 2, just completely outline the bow shape and giving it about an hour and a half to dry because it is black and you're working with a lighter color, and you want that to dry very good before flooding in your lighter color in there. And smooth your icing out really quickly because we are adding in the polka dots into the icing. Okay, so then you're going to do one dot here in the center. You're going to do, I'm roughly making about 6 dots on each side. Fairly medium size, not too large, not too tiny. Again, that is in a tip 2. And that's pretty much it. Really easy bow to make. Just make sure that these sink in. Now you can give this about a couple hours to dry. I always say the more the better because I am going to be outlining some black on top of it, so I want to make sure that my surface is nice and dry. So I'm going to finish up the rest. Like I said, I did some in red, so you'll see that towards the end. And I'm going to come back once this is dry. Alright guys, I give this a touch to dry, so I can go ahead now with my outline. I have my black in a medium to thick consistency in a tip 2. Now you can outline these bows in like 101 million ways. I searched Minnie bow cookies and they all were outlined differently. So just do whatever you like or think it's prettier. I'm going to do this one here. It's very simple and it almost looks like a butterfly. So I thought it was pretty easy to do. So what I'm going to start off with is the center part. This here cookie is a little bit long on the height, so it's not going to be rounded like some other cookies. Usually the bows are a little bit more rounded in the center. This one almost looks like a buckle. So now I'm going to start off here at the bottom, and I'm going to start just a little bit in the center here. And I'm going to bring it down. And since I'm working with thick icing, you have to be very careful with it because it goes out really slow. So you got to make sure that it's coming out nice and straight. And then I'm going to do here at the top. I'm going to finish this side since I'm already working here. I'm going to start here almost in the center here and bring it out. And I'm going to curl it in just like that. Okay, now I'm going to work here on this other side. Again, starting somewhere almost in the center here. And then again at the top, a little bit harder squeeze. And then bring it around town and touch it here. And then instead of doing another curl like this, you can if you like. I'm just going to bring it out. I have a little bit of a curve, but not too much. Just like that. And that is it. Oh wait, I forgot the bottom part. Don't forget these two. With these lines, what they do is they make them look like kind of bubbly and not so flatly. Makes it look more like a material bubble shape bow. Okay, so that is it. And make sure that all my peaks are down. So I'm just going to do the other ones and I'm going to give them some time to dry. I would recommend about an hour and a half or so, so you don't accidentally crunch your icing. The longer the better. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest. Alright guys, there you have it. Minky hands or gloves and shorts cookies and mini bow cookies. Super easy to make. Only a few colors. Very, very easy to put together. I've had these cutters for about 3 years now and I finally got around to making a video for them. They're super easy and neat. So I hope you like how they turned out. Also, the bow cutter, you don't have to get this particular bow cutter. You can just use a butterfly cookie cutter. It looks a lot like a butterfly. So if you have one, any size, you can make this out of that. And that is it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And have a good one.